Welcome to the Under the Influence podcast, proudly brought to you by the Together Store, your number one digital drinks outlet in Africa. Today we are under the influence of Ghana, and we are joined by Laurie Quarshie, who has a wonderful boutique hotel in Ghana and also a wine distribution business called Barrels and Beverages. And we're going to dig into all that is distribution and hospitality in Ghana to understand a little bit more about what it takes to run a drinks business on the continent and specifically in Ghana. Enjoy. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gents, or good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to another Under the Influence podcast. This time we are under the influence of Ghana, and I'm really excited to welcome Laurie Quarshie to the podcast. Laurie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. A bit hot. We prefer to be in Cape Town, of course, but
yeah, well, I
pretty
think
good.
I owe you a visit to Ghana because the only time that I've spent time with you has actually been in Cape Town in the Cape Winelands. And I must say, you look very at home with a glass of wine in the Cape Winelands. So looking forward to having you down here. And today it's just interesting to talk to you because, you know, we often talk to winemakers and we also spend time with wonderful clients across Africa. But today we're talking about Ghana, and we're talking about distributing wine in Ghana and your business, Barrels and Beverages, who happens to be our partner in Ghana. And I think it's really interesting to talk about that side of the wine business because a lot of the focus is obviously on the brands themselves, and we look at beautiful vineyards and cellars and all the stories. And then we look at our customers that we work with, these wonderful hotels and lodges and restaurants. But the story of, you know, starting a wine business in Africa, running a wine business in Africa, it's immense. It's a massive challenge. And I'm looking forward to chatting to you a little bit about your journey so far, Laurie.
Sure. Well, good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. So, Laurie, if you can just, you actually come from a finance background, and you've been classically trained at the London School of Business, and you've done your time in corporate. How did you transition from that into setting up your own hotel in Ghana and also setting up your own wine business? I'd love to hear about your journey. From the stable sort of finance career into the, let's just call it slightly unstable COVID times, hospitality and wine businesses.
Yeah, you can say that again. Well, thank you for this opportunity to talk about it. My background is I'm a CPA by profession with a finance qualification, and I'm from a family of entrepreneurs. So I spent a good portion of my life living in the US and working for corporate America. And somewhere around 2010, 2011, I wanted to come back home and build a business. And the reason why I built a hotel was because I love to travel. My favorite pastime is going to a country and just really enjoying the luxury life. I got tired of staying in chain hotels, and I started looking into boutique hotels. So actually my first boutique hotel I ever stayed in was in Cape Town. And I walked into a boutique hotel in Cape Town and just fell in love with the setup. And I said, we have to have something like this in Ghana. And after that, everywhere I travel, I always stay at a boutique hotel. So that is what started Villa Monticello. And it's been a journey because it was the first of its kind in Ghana. Very difficult to transition because most people know brand hotels, know the large chains, they don't know boutique hotels. But we are 10 years actually this month, and wow. It's been a great journey. I'm very excited about it. I love this project. But about 5-6 years ago, I guess part of my going to Cape Town almost every year and drinking the wines from SA, I just really loved the wines that came from that region. Although growing up, I had spent my years in California, so I knew that, California wines very well. I fell in love with SA wines, and I said, oh, we've got to have this. And, they weren't, it's not as if it was a new thing in Ghana, because you go to, they do sell South African wines in Ghana. But I also realized that it was a limited type of wines they were selling. They were selling more probably to the masses. And if you had a sort of a discerning palate, you really couldn't get much of a range. And so the whole interesting journey started with Cape Town and Ken Forrester. I think I had a Ken Forrester, a couple of his the varieties went, one trip in Cape Town, and I said, oh, I'd love to bring Ken Forrester to Ghana. Let me just reach out to Ken Forrester and see whether he would be willing to let me distribute his wines in Ghana. So I reached out to Ken Forrester, and Ken Forrester said, oh, I know this young man who has a distribution company who will be the best person. He really, he knows his wines. I'm going to introduce you to him. And that was you, Alistair. So Ken introduced Alistair to me, and the rest is history. I started in a very small way, just bringing enough for the hotel and my friends, and then with time, I realized that there's an opportunity here to make to make a decent business out of distributing the different varieties, and more of giving Ghanaians an opportunity to taste and the different vineyards.
Yeah.
Because we're just getting a couple in Ghana, and I felt, why are we limiting ourselves to just a few vineyards when, SA it's huge. And so that's how the journey started. It has been a challenging journey in the fact that, most people wine is not the first drink of choice in Ghana. And trying to change the mindset has been not an easy task.
Yeah. No, it is. I think that's why, going into these markets like Ghana, you have to go with that education mindset. You're actually trying to change hearts and minds and palates. Our friends at Diageo have done a great job, Mark, and Heineken have done a great job marketing spirits and Guinness and beer. So we as wine people, we have to kind of come together and tell that story and educate people and also like give them that experience. I think wine is such a people business,
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
And I must admit, Laurie, one of the things that really was so amazing about the way you started your business was, I look at the numbers, even though I'm not a finance guy, you've taught me to look at the numbers, Laurie. So I was noticing just how most markets would look typically at your premium entry level and then up into that pyramid. But your pyramid, when you started, was actually inverted. Most of your volume was coming from your really high-end wines. So you've done a great job at cultivating a customer base that appreciates really fine wines. And I'm talking icon wines.
Absolutely.
How did you go about that?
Well, it's because I like wine. I like the premium brand. And I'm always talking about it. So it was quite an easy sell. It really is an easy sell. And, it's, even on this particular shipment we've had, most of the premiums are gone because it's easy to sell a product that you're passionate about. And it's very easy to sell. It's really good stuff, it wasn't hard getting that customer base.
Was there like a wine club that you set up, Laurie?
I did set up a wine club, and most of them were my friends. So, I mean, most of my customers are my friends anyway, and that's how come I'm able to sell my premium wines. But I also realized that there's a certain, maybe a certain group of people in Ghana that do appreciate good wine. A lot of people do bring in wines, like when they travel, if they're in the US or in France or in SA, they bring in a little mixed box that they can, have a little cellar in their houses and stuff. So it is not a new thing. It's just trying to get the masses to understand that this is an entry drink, and you can easily have it at any time, with either by itself or with a meal, or, I mean, it's just trying to change a culture a little bit.
Yeah.
For people to really appreciate wines. I guess when you watch television or watching any of these cable shows, there's always people coming home after work and opening a bottle, having a glass. I'm not sure it's that simple here. People going home and opening a bottle, because alcohol is not usually a after work drink versus a weekend or it's a social drink.
Okay.
So, but I'm confident that it will get to that place where people will also understand the benefits of of drinking wine versus having a sugary cocktail or any other drink. So it's just a matter of just educating. I mean, as you rightfully say, Alistair, it's educating. Getting people to understand that wine is good.
Yeah, and I think also it's kind of moving away from just like commodity product discussion where it's just a varietal, it's just a flavor, it's just whatever the simple summation is. It's kind of moving more towards the people and place kind of side of things.
Yeah, I agree. So we have a journey. We have a project to put it all, to bring it to the table where maybe over a certain period of time we'll get fellow Ghanaians to really enjoy what comes out of South Africa.
Yeah, and Laurie, it's such an interesting journey, because we've gone on that journey quite a few times. We kind of like we like marathon runners that keep doing the marathons even though it sometimes hurts. But when we first started Under the Influence, we were a wine club, and those customers, many of them have been with us. Many of them basically introduced us into the hospitality side. Many of those customers also evolved into partners that we work with in Africa, such as yourself. And it's basically that like snowball effect where you start off small and you get that ball rolling. So yeah, it's I must say I'm extremely excited to be working with you. And Ghana is also always fascinated me because it's got such a there's such a confidence and presence that Ghanaians have. You guys are very worldly but very rooted people, from my experience.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, absolutely. Many of your colleagues and friends probably would have worked and studied abroad.
That's correct.
But it seems like a lot of people come home. Is that true?
Yes, it is. A lot of people come home because there's no place like home, right?
That's
it's a great place to be. Ghana is a great place to be. I mean, it's such a blend of different cultures, and people are very easygoing. They're warm. Hospitality is our thing. There's no place like home. No matter wherever you go, you come back.
And Ghana, it's been kind of, obviously when people think West Africa, they think Lagos, they think Victoria Island, they think, that is a hub. But it seems like Accra has become a lot more of a hub in recent times for international businesses. Is that right?
That's correct. It's very busy. Even with COVID, you still get to feel people coming in. I mean, the flights are coming in, people are doing business. I think there's a lot of opportunities. I truly believe that. Yeah, I'm glad I'm here. I'm happy to be here.
It's wonderful that you are, and I mean your connection to Ghana. I mean, where were you born? What part of Ghana? Give us a bit of a rundown.
Oh my goodness. Both my parents are from Ghana. My mom is from the central region. My dad was from the western region. So I'm a mix, but I grew up in Accra. I went to school in Accra. I did my high school in the central region, and then I went to the US to do the university part of it. So I'm a typical Ghanaian girl, who, but I'm not saying typical, I'm actually quite almost in line with a lot of my friends. They all went to school here, went and did university abroad, and then decided to come back to Ghana. So there's a whole general group of individuals that are quite similar.
Yeah.
And so that's my background. I'm from a family of 6. I'm married with a child, and I mean, he's not a child anymore, he's a grown-up. And life is, as we see it and do every day in Ghana, just getting on with things.
Yeah, you guys have got a great hustle. There's definitely a get things done. There's a get things done attitude that belies the sort of relaxed side of things. I see that you have a relaxed culture, but you guys certainly get things done, which is wonderful.
Yes, we do. I mean, my goal. I mean, honestly, Alison, my goal is to get Ghanaians to love wine.
Yeah.
Especially wine from the southern region, because I think we need to really support the diaspora. One. Number two, it's actually some of the best wines in the world come from SA. I mean, look, and I'm not being, because I mean, we travel, we drink wine everywhere we go, but there's something about the wines from South Africa that, I mean, and the range, from the icon range to even the starter range, where you just have a basic glass of wine, you can never go wrong.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. And it will be great for us to really support it, because it's comparable. I mean, I'm not saying South America or Central America or wherever, but why not support the wines from our region?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, South Africa's got such a incredible range just in the Western Cape of mountains and ocean and valleys and just different soil types, different climates. And then the whole concept of drinking a product that's not just a big nameless, faceless brand. It's made by a person. There's a story behind that person. It's made by a group of people. It comes from a specific place. All great wines have an address, and those are the things that need to be uncovered. But then also, the main thing is just not to get too carried away about the pretension in wine. What I've found on the African continent is people are super keen to learn. They want to drink good quality and they want to understand what quality is, but don't get too posh. Like, it's not. We don't have time for that. We want to relax and we want to enjoy each other's company. We don't have to get too poncy about things. But Laurie, tell me more about your journey with Villa Monticello, because setting up a boutique hotel, I know that when I first traveled to West Africa and traveled to Lagos, Nigeria is different to Ghana because you hear stories about traveling in Nigeria, but you basically look for the Marriotts and the Hiltons, and obviously they do a great job, but you don't necessarily immediately look for a boutique hotel. Was it challenging to kind of get your brand out there?
It's still a challenge, but I mean, we have won so many international awards in terms of, and with time, it's all about people promoting, people referring. We've had great clients over the years. We've had, and they keep coming back. So I think the sign of success is always when you keep getting repeat business and referrals from that business.
Yeah.
But it has been 10 years and it hasn't been easy. We're on TripAdvisor. We're obviously on the major travel sites. But the whole point of the business was, the whole concept of the boutique was just to do something that felt like home.
Yeah.
We call it a home away from home kind of feel. And we've been able to market that. So we do get a lot of people wanting to come and stay here. And they all seem to, service is key.
Yeah.
Our slogan is delivering luxury through excellence.
Yeah.
So service is key. And Alison, as I said, I married a lot of these things from Cape Town, from the boutique hotels in Cape Town, because the experiences I get when I stay in the boutique hotels in Cape Town is unparalleled to none. I mean, I cannot find too many places in the world that I go in and the service and everything about the experiences is memorable, that you can't stop talking about it. So, when you bring that back here and you're pushing your staff and everybody else to think in that manner, I think invariably you'll get there. You get to that place where the client the customer or the guest walks in and it is a great experience for them. So it hasn't been an easy walk because, as you rightfully said, most coming into Africa, the first thing is like, let me look for a safe hotel. Let me look for a Marriott or a Hilton or, a Kempinski or whatever we have here. But you keep pushing. You keep pushing because if you believe in what you're doing and you believe in creating the right product, you will get people to. One of our biggest clients, I think in terms of regions, we get a lot of South Africans coming to Ghana and staying at Villa Monticello.
Oh,
and it's not because I know any South Africans, but it's because they're also looking for a boutique experience and they come in here and they're so happy and, it's a done deal for them. So that's really our journey. We're not where we want to be yet, but we still keep chipping away to get there one day.
Yeah, and I think the hospitality culture holds you in good stead for the wine business too, because it's obviously a lot of the wines we work with and the whole beverage intelligence training and all that, it's very much designed for hospitality. So it's as hospitality starts to return, it's going to be so exciting, kind of rolling out those elements with you, because you're the one also driving that change in your own property. So you might have to share some of your secrets with other properties in Ghana, but that's fine, Laurie? You're generous.
I will be, of course.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's always quite fun because I do a lot of traveling in Nigeria and usually stay in great places, but not quite the same level as what you have to offer our team when they travel up. So often we'll be comparing rooms or what we do. And they always win, Laurie.
Oh, thank you for that.
So what I wanted to ask is, what are some of the challenges of I think we often get approached by brands who they want to get into Ghana, they want to get into certain markets, and it's quite difficult to explain just how difficult it is to take a pallet or a box or a container, whatever it is, get it all the way through this whole process, into storage, into guests, customers' hands. What have been some of the challenges, Laurie? And just from as if you're speaking to a brand, what would you share with them?
Well, I think the toughest thing is really people being familiar with the brand. So part of the journey is that we have, and I'm sure they have the same thing in SA. We have to have FDA approvals on the wines that you bring in, and so I think each approval, it's per variety, per brand. It's quite a long process. It takes about 2 to 3 months, and it's only good for about 3 years. So every 3 years, you need to renew these. You need to get these licensed to be able to sell that particular brand in the market. So that's one. The second, I think the other thing is really about people being familiar with the brand, and I don't blame them, because that's what I've been seeing for the last 20 years. And you bring in a Belfield, which is your, and as great as Belfield is, I think it's a fantastic wine. It's so hard to convince the person who walks into the hotel or the restaurant that says, the person says, I want a bottle of wine. How come Nederberg isn't on your menu? I said, well, because I believe in a more boutique kind of wines, and I think on a one-on-one, you may be able to convince the person to buy it for that day. Whether they'll come back and request it again is a different thing.
Yeah.
So I think the challenges of even getting the brand here is one. The other thing is how the brand needs to connect. The people need to connect with probably the producers of the brand. As you rightfully said, it's about a story. So, I love everything Ken Forrester, because I've met him a few times.
Yes.
He can't do no wrong in my book. He is amazing. So it's easy for me to drink any of his varieties because I know where it's coming from. I know his story. However, if I haven't heard of them before or heard of the particular brand before, and I don't know the face behind it, and I think one of the things you always talk about is the trust aspect.
Yeah.
So if I don't know it, I cannot trust it. And until I can trust it, then it's an easier. So that's what I would really tell the brands. Find a way to connect with the people, find a way to earn their trust. And it's all about people skills, isn't it? It's all about connecting to them. And once you can get that across, I think you already are halfway there. The rest is easy.
Yeah, I think that's so true. And we often go on trade delegations, and there's been some delegations to Ghana recently, and I was chatting to some of them, and it's hard enough to get started, but you also have to go there and invest time, because that's how you build trust. So obviously we come in to see you in the next couple of weeks, but that's not just a once off. It has to be a rhythm. And then a big thing that I believe in, obviously because we've spent so much time and effort building it, is leaving behind those tools, those training tools, the digital content. A platform like the Together Store, I'm also really excited about for Ghana, because it's just another way to engage with customers and build that trust. But I think it's important to understand the challenges, because we took the plunge ourselves to start a distribution business in Zambia and Kenya, and it's extremely rewarding, but it's been definitely the toughest thing I've ever done in my career by far.
Yeah, Yeah, it is tough. It is tough, you know.
But once you
Because
build, then you get more people trusting you because the referrals start to take place. And the best way to get trust is for someone to refer business to you, because then it's a trusted referral. Yeah, and then the business becomes interesting and exciting because it becomes like referral and annuity income versus just bashing down one door at a time.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a journey. It's not for the faint-hearted. I can tell you that.
No, definitely not. Sure, Laurie. Well, it's so great chatting to you, and I really appreciate you taking the time. I'm looking forward to hosting you in Cape Town as soon as possible, where we can maybe carry on the conversation.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
great food and great wine.
That's going to be amazing, and yeah, looking forward to unleashing Josh and the rest of our team on your team in the coming weeks and months. And
that'll be wonderful.
Thank you so much for your time, Laurie.
I'm looking forward to that too. I really am.
Awesome.
Thank you too. Speak soon.
Cheers, bye-bye.